Hey guys, welcome to the next episode of the Liverpool review series, and this is the league table, and it's a case of deja vu with Tottenham Hotspur being top. Yeah, I don't know if they're ever going to be dislodged the West and me, aren't they? God, with the six titles, if they'll ever beat my record of six titles. You see, got to be ruthless, kids. Um, and yeah, we're putting up a far better display this time around. So far, anyway, Arsenal are only, well, they're 5 points behind us. Tottenham and Arsenal sort of keep, not just Tottenham and Arsenal, actually, all the top six. Again, it's this big top six. Um, they sort of take points off each other all the time, and they sort of help each other out. But there's a good example. Arsenal beat Tottenham, but they're helping us as we won as well. So we're pulling away from them as they lose their next game. But I don't know, whatever. But I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just realised there's a flaw in what I'm saying. But that's basically it. We're all really close. I suppose we're close-ish together. The top three, in particular. United are slightly down. City are really doing poorly, but there's been some really funny managerial changes, which if it ever happened, there would be fucking riots. But no, seriously, there would be. Um, if it happened. But I'll go over them in a moment. So I'm going to show you a lot of managers and stuff now, because a lot of people want to know like the finer details to the save. Now you'll also just want to very quickly point out, be able to download the save at the end of this season. I think it will be this. This is season. I think it's 19. I can't even remember. I'll just check if the. Just don't take my words for it. Read the title. Just simple as that. But you will be at the end of the season. So we are currently in the 2029-2030. You will be able to download it when I will put a download link in the next video for this save. So if you want to download the save, there will be a download save from my Dropbox. Just download it, put it in. I'll also link a video how you'll do it. I'll probably show you how to do it or something. Anyway, yes, that's that. At the end of the season, for those wondering, I'll show you some more finer details of the save now as well, like such as managers and so on. But these are the transfers. Now I've done quite a lot of stuff here, a lot of stuff. So I'll go over the ones out first. I got £25 million in, which was decent. The first one, no goets. He's gone. He's gone back to France. He's in Marseille now, if the game ever loads. I know that because I've just checked it. He's 35, as you can see, but he's doing rather well. 16 goals and 28 appearances, but that is obviously at the French level. I think if this was in the Premier League, he probably would still be struggling. He'd still have a fair few goals, but I think he'd be struggling. He wouldn't be at the absolute monster peak he was at about 10 years ago or so. And yeah, so he's done okay. I mean, if you look at the scout report, I can't even look at the scout report. Never mind. I can actually approach the signing, which is quite funny. But obviously, I'm not going to be able to do that since he just knocked me back. Ali Valencia, as I say, he wanted to go, and I sold him to Paris Saint-Germain for 14 million. Now, obviously, if you saw the last video, he was not worth 14 million. But what you do is when you have a player like that, and they are wanted, and it is, don't get me wrong, I'll admit, it is a push that they are wanted. But if they are wanted by a clutch of teams, and obviously Valencia is that type of player who would be wanted because he's very good, especially at a very good position at right back, because there aren't that many on a small database. You can exploit it for as much as you want. Now, there is a problem if you do be a bit if you are a bit cheeky and say if I wanted 20 million for him, you'd have about 6 teams saying I'm not willing to pay that, and you think, okay, I'll just lower it down. Yes, you can lower it down, but they're not going to come in for him, because I've done that several times where I've pushed it too far and said, okay, 20 million, I'll bring it down to 14, and you offer it again, no one says anything. It just gets ignored. So you have to be careful. It's like, you got one chance and one chance only to sell them, and I thought for 14 million, I mean, I bought them for what? I think like 4 or 5 million. I got him for free. That's right, yeah, I got him for free from Bayern Munich. So, I suppose I made the £14 million profit on him, and he was a very, very good little right back. I mean, he made what? I mean, 124 appearances for us. Let's have a look at his biography. Let's see, he made over 100 league appearances for us, and that doesn't include Champions League and FA Cup and League Cup appearances. So, overall he's done quite well, but he served his time here. He wanted a new challenge, and obviously you don't want an unhappy player here, so I let him go. Now, Matthijs Motta, I was very disappointed in this guy. Really wanted him to work, but I still think there's a combination of having too many midfielders, plus I think they were all around the same age, and you've got Masari, who was. Whereas I think I bought Motta and Masari, who were going to be both my two main centre midfielders. Masari took it on and went the extra yard. You know, he really became a quality player. Motta didn't do that. Admittedly, I don't think I gave him as much of an opportunity as I did Masari. But still, you know, I was waiting for him to grasp the opportunity and say, I'm going to take this, I'm going to be a quality player. He never really quite did it. He never impressed me as much as he did Motta. So, got him for 5 million. You know, okay, I made the loss of £1 million, but, you know, he did fair enough. You know, he was here for nearly 8 years, so I can't fault him, I suppose, on that. He did his job. And finally, Marius Alcaver, I think is how you say. He's now at AC Milan. Now you're thinking, oh God, this wonder kid, why on earth have you sold him? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, it was really difficult to put my finger on this guy. He was good, but he just never turned. Like, I'd play him, and he just didn't do anything. So I'd drop him for a few games, and this is where it gets very, you know, difficult now for in this game. You drop a player once and they go batshit crazy at you. They really do. I dropped him for a few games because he wasn't performing, and he yelled at me, and I'm saying I think you deserve it, and he said I wanted to go, so I was like, fuck off then. But don't worry, I have found good replacements for him. I wanted to bring him in. It was a time of squad management as well. You've got to be careful with your squad management. Because obviously I had players over the age of 21 now. You have to put them in, you know, especially when, you know, for years he was always under 21. Now he was a lot more difficult to fit in. And yes, that was pretty annoying. So, going over the players I've bought in first. So here we have Leonardo Silvani. I kept calling him Silviani for ages, but he's got a baldy head and hobbit-like ears. £20 million I bought him for. He's not been amazing, I have to be honest. He's slowly gelling into the team, but as you can see, I mean, it has a strike. I mean, okay, that's Asperell. Stephen Gerrard's rubbish. No, he's not rubbish, actually, he's quite good. But, yeah, I think he still needs to blend into this team. As I say, 3-star potential, same as Castillo. Obviously, he's not quite there yet, but, you know, you have to bear in mind as well, he can't even speak English yet. And not even, I'm talking basic English. It's got to say basic, you know. So I'm prepared to give him a bit of time. He's replaced Goetz with the number 9 shirt. I'm prepared to give him a bit of time. Let him see how he does. But you know, he does need to get his act together quite soon. Next one, another one from next one of two from Man City, David Brown. Now you may have seen him in previous episodes. He was top, I think, of like the assist rankings or the average rating rankings. So yeah, American, a lot of good Americans on this. In a lot of countries, as you can see. Very, very good little player. Now, the good thing about this guy is he's a former Man United player. He's been all over the place. He started off at New York Red Bulls, went to Strong Godset, which is an amazing name, then at Vålerenga, Vitesse Feyenoord, then Man United, Leon bought him, then City said, no, we'll have him, and he was up for transfer in. I thought he'll fit in really well. He's 30 now. I'm hoping for him to be that sort of big, you know, that experienced player that I'll look for in the middle of the park. He's got great agility, he's pretty pacey, his first touch is decent, his technique's very good, his determination's great, he's got good creativity, work rate's excellent. So yeah, I was pretty impressed by him. Now this is they were the two summer signings. Now these are the rest of them in January, because I got a message from my board, and I'll talk about the board in a moment. I think I've mentioned actually. Yeah, it's happened quite a while ago, but I'll talk about this in a moment. The board put a new cash injection into the transfer, so I had nearly makes no difference, a few million off, £200 million. Now don't forget I had the 25 million on top of that, because obviously you added the 25 as well to that, so it was nearly 200 million. I was like, I've got to spend some of this, you know. So I went out and bought this guy who was on a transfer list for Manchester City. He's called, great name this, Sean Shaw. How stupid must the parent be for that? He's got great acceleration, as you can see. His corners are decent, good aggression, pacey, looks like a little pacey little bugger. And he does look pretty exciting. He's got 3.5-star potential. That's on this. Is fantastic. You know, you don't really see, as I've mentioned before, especially if you're on a small database like me, very, very, very rare to see I'd say even 4 stars are quite rare. As you can see, Fredinho, he was rare. That's why I spent so much money on him. You very rarely see 4.5 stars. It's incredibly rare to see them, and pretty much impossible to see 5 stars. We're talking like a combination there of Sergio Aguero and Diego Maradona. So hoping, he has genuine potential. He could be really good. Get himself in front of Castillo. He's only 20. Could be Fredinho's replacement. We'll have to see because Fredinho is of course about 34 now. This next guy called Kidan, I think his name is. Yidnekachu, I think, isn't it? Yidnekachu, I think, as I say. I can never say these weird names. He's Eritrean, all the nationalities, but he is Spanish. He is only young, as you saw there as well. He's a right back. He is Valencia's replacement, but also another replacement, which is really disappointing, which I'll get onto in a moment, because of some poor performances. I don't think he's yet to play, but I signed him for 19 million, and I think where was he actually? He's at Lyon, yeah. He's started out at Real Madrid, actually. Wow, I didn't know that. But they got some money for him, and he's not that bad. So he had good potential again. This guy is 15. Another one from Lyon. He's called Sekou Kone, and he's only 15 and has pretty good potential again. As you can see, 3.5 star as a centre defender, and building up slowly this new breed of defenders I've got. We've got Shug, who's young. James is very young. Goal is like 18. Barnes is really young. So I'm getting there. I'm really getting there with these defenders now. This guy from Arsenal, which is, I didn't think they'd sell him, but okay, because I was looking for a right-sided player, because I realised I don't have too many genuine right-sided players. I've got Bergen and maybe Guyan. That's about it. Guyan's a more centre. I want to play him in centre mid, but he can also play on the right. But I thought, okay, I definitely need another genuine right-sided player. And this guy called Paulo Antunes, I think is how you say it. Again, 3.5 star potential, same as Guyan, who is one of my best players. So I thought I'll pay £30 million, bargain for him. And at this point, I still had like £150 million to spend. I'm thinking, I haven't blown on a big player for a long time. I really should do that now. One position, I've talked about Motta, maybe a bit of a cramped midfield. This guy was the exception, though. Florian Meyer, or Meyer. Another one beginning with M. I've got loads of M players beginning with M in my midfield. I've got Matei, Masari, Motta, who's obviously left, Meyer now. There's loads of them. £42 million. As you can see, his stats are fantastic. Lots of light and lots of dark blue there. It's great stamina, good agility, balance, work rates, Cout-like, technique's excellent, passing Xabi Alonso-like nearly. Great good creativity. It's all there, and this is showing off in the scout report. So if you look at Gerrard, he gives him 4-star potential, ability, and potential, and so does Mayan, giving him 4-star. Ooh, sorry about that. And yeah, so that's Maya for you. Going to see how he does over the next few months, and hopefully he should become a genuine first team key player. So, fixtures. Where are we? That link off. Now, I just want to explain these two results very quickly. In fact, even the 1-0 against Killymoon, which is quite embarrassing. Everyone was on holiday. All my main first team was on holiday at this point. So this was pretty much the youth team, so just ignore them. This and obviously the difference shown here as we played Henley and won 13-0. A lot of people, everyone got on the score sheet here. Just every single player in the team nearly. Actually, how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, that's pretty much almost the whole team scored there. And we had a good game there against Milan and Ventura. And this was a sign of things to come, hopefully. I'm hoping anyway. As we beat Tottenham in the Community Shield and Guyan with a penalty. So, let's hope we can continue this into the new season. Well, it looked like it, as we got a good start against West Brom. But unfortunately, went down to Wigan. Now, I was very disappointed in this. We didn't turn up. They were very hungry for this game. They were. Hate it when you click this and this happens, and then it goes into a crash dump, and yeah. Sorry about that. Novello got sent off. He got fined for that. Silvani he was woeful in his first. I think it was like one of his first games. He was woeful. Um, and Acosta was also very, very poor. Gave away a penalty, I think. But then we bounced back straight away. Third game of the season as we played Everton. Brown got 2 goals on it. I think it was probably his home debut. And overall we had a decent start. Unfortunately, we lost 2-0 in the Premier League again to Arsenal. Just so hard going to the Emirates with these two fuckers. They are ridiculously good, George and Young. Then we also, where are we? Played West Brom actually in the League Cup again. This one was a lot more harder, obviously being at the Hawthorns, but played a slightly weaker team. This was like sort of Hasley Matei, who has actually come on brilliantly since the start of the season. He's been fantastic. He's learned to shoot with power, like Steven Gerrard style, and fucking hell, you know about it. I'll come back to Jay Jackson here in a moment. Actually, let me just show you the scores as well. It was Hasley and Alonso. It was like 2-1, and then they got a penalty, pulled it back to 2-1. Hasley then finished the game off, and then they got another one back, and it was like, how did that happen? This is our Champions League group here. We did very well overall. We had Shakhtar, Copenhagen, and Ajax. And the first game was against Shakhtar. Now I played a very weak team here. I think this was like the game against Arsenal. It was really, it was the last 10 minutes basically. So we have Jackson here again, as I'll come back to. We had Lopez, the 18-year-old, very good little player. Alaba, who is retiring now at the end of the season. As you can see, staff attributes, that shows you. Happy to see out the remainder, and he will be retiring on the 21st of May. I played Goller, Shu, Wheeler, Shimpy. Wheeler's quite old himself now. Wasn't going to play the reserve keeper. But it was really disappointing, really. We can see that you saw there in the 90th minute. And yeah, it was overall quite annoying. But we had the 85th minute winner, I thought, with Ryan Bergen's goal. 3-0 against Ajax at Jupp Park with Castillo, Sadler and Fredinho getting the goals. Silvani then scored a hat-trick, made up for his errors with a goal against Copenhagen. Jackson scoring there. Okay, I'll come back to him. Suarez and Moore scoring in Copenhagen. And then Cartazolo, Bergen, Alonso scoring against Shakhtar. And then here through a game here against Ajax. This was a dead game. We'd already qualified in first place. And as you can see, I played at this. I checked this. The average age of this team was 22. Barnes, who is I think 19. Barnes 22. Wheeler 34. So obviously he's the exception here. 2 exceptions being Alaba and Wheeler. Goller's like 18. Novello's 24, I think. Bergen's about 27. Alaba's 37. Obviously he's the exception. Tong here, very good little DMC. He's only 18. Come through the youth. Murphy will come back to Maloney playing up front. I really should play him in midfield, but I wanted to play Alaba just to give it a bit of stability, and we really didn't do very well. But I wasn't too bothered. I just wanted to see what they do, and the game made a big deal of it. When the game, like, it's like if this happened in real life, people wouldn't be too bothered. It's like, well, I'm disappointed in the players, but it was like, bear in mind we'd already qualified, as I say, and we'd already first. Everyone was fine and dandy. The game went. The fans are devastated by this result, and it leaves the team clinging to their hopes of reaching the final of the Champions League. And it's like, I just wish this game could make sense just once. It's so stupid sometimes. It really is so retarded. Anyway, so that was the Champions League. We did well there, as you can see. I need to open this up a bit more. We then played Everton in the League Cup, so there's another one. Silvani also getting the goal, which is really good. I'll show you that goal. Actually, I'll show you what he's like. As you can see, they never had a shot on target. I think they played a weaker team, if I'm going to be honest. They've got one good player there who got booked in the 58th minute. There, as you can see, Alex Watts. He's a good little player. Nearly bought him actually, but obviously I realised Everton player isn't going to come here. So good ball by Castillo and Silvani off the post. So yeah, they're decent little players so far. Then played City 2-1. We won. Castillo with the 2 goals. And yeah, he was really good today. Suarez was that game. Sorry, he really turned the game for us. He just sort of turned himself on for like the last sort of that period of the goals. So I was really happy with that. As you see, we're on a really good running streak here. After that Arsenal defeat, we really just won almost every game. We then had a 1-1 draw against Leicester. Seems to keep drawing against Leicester. I don't know why. I think it was, no, it was reasonably weak. I mean, I say reasonably weak. I mean, I played Lopez. That's about it. Shimpy, I keep rotating Shimpy and Langeveld pretty much, trying to keep them on equal footing. Obviously, if one gets injured, obviously that ruins it. But they both have been injured for quite considerable amount of times. Both Langeveld and Shimpy, my left backs. God, I wish it wouldn't keep doing this. This is annoying. Then played Aston Villa at Villa Park, won 5-0. This was a really fun game to watch, actually, because it was one of them dead easy games. This is really getting on my tits now. Why is it all cramped and stuff? Can I just not get rid of this? There you go. Then play Tottenham at home. 4-0. Sadler. Absolute one of his best performances ever. Honestly, I'll show you the goals. Because I've got to show you these titanic clashes, you know. One thing I wish this game did, though, was adapt rivalries. I get that Liverpool and United are going to be rivalries and so on, but bear in mind us and Arsenal, but us and Tottenham are now big title rivals. Look at that for a goal, half volley, Trevor Sadler. What a goal that is, and we've been working hard, so hard to get this goal, and finally does that. But, you know, I'd wish like it'd say now, you know, big rival is now Tottenham and Liverpool, because, you know, great free kick there, because, you know, we are big title rivals and played each other in the Champions League several times, and you know, we've won and had terrific games, you know. So, but yeah, and then he got the penalty, 3-0 to 2. Admittedly, it was two set pieces, but you know, he converted them both very well. And this was just the icing on the cake here now with Luis Suarez. Really good link-up play. Once this comes in, I think it was. What's that? I think it link-up. I can't even remember the goal actually. I'm trying to guess, to be honest. I forgot what the goal was. This was a while ago. It was a good link-up play and nice tidy finish there to finish the game off. That was 4-0. That came out of nowhere. We played City in the League Cup quarter-finals, 2-1. Sadler with the winner again. This was back-to-back. And unfortunately, we lost Old Trafford, which was really disappointing. I went batshit crazy in this game. Because we had to win. We were keeping the pressure up on Tottenham after we beat them. Jason Balder put them in front, more equalised for us, and then we gave away a penalty which they missed, and Dean Alexander scored the winner in the 86th minute. I went absolutely batshit crazy at Enrique, I went batshit crazy at Castillo, at Suarez, at and all that, so I was really disappointed in these plays, and it has actually led to Enrique wanting to leave and will be leaving at the end of the season. It's doing this stupid fucking so as you can see here. Okay, again, this is where the game is just completely and utterly stupid in every way. Looking forward to moving clubs. Okay, fair enough. He wants to leave because, you know, I pissed him off a bit. I said, you know, you were terrible. I fined him. He said, why did you fine me? And I said, because you were terrible. He's like, I'm not backing down. And he just simply refused to back down. Now, when you have a person like, when you have a profile like me, like you're second in the Hall of Fame and you're world class and, you know, all this sort of stuff, usually 99.9% of players will back down. But there are the exception. Now, I say, you're looking forward to moving clubs, fair enough. But he has promised he will sign a new contract. No, he bloody hasn't. Come on, SI, sort it out. Anyway, yeah, so he's leaving on a Bosman, I think. That's just really disappointing. I've also got also that's one good point actually. Pedro Costa is currently tutoring. I just want to show you this. Tutoring Sekou Kone, who is the 15-year-old, of course, I signed before. I've got a lot of dubbed next. I've got one. Which actually, I'll show you that later. Actually, I'll show you my team in a moment. But yeah, he's tutoring him. He said, you know, he's really excited to be working with him. He highlighted him about 2 or 3 times. I was like, okay, you're going to tutor him. Then we played Chelsea anyway in the semi-final first leg of the League Cup. So we're actually getting somewhere in the League Cup for the first time in God knows how long. And yeah, we won 2-0 at the Bridge and won 2-1 at home. It was really standard, normal victory. Suarez and Brown with 2 goals. There wasn't really much to shout about. It was like just victory. You know, it wasn't. It was just a nice win, and they really didn't give us much of a problem. So we're through to the final of the League Cup, where we will be playing Tottenham. Yes, Tottenham playing Porto in the Champions League knockout rounds. We played Bristol City in the FA Cup third round. Bergen, Maloney, and Golla with the goals. It was a really young team, and we played Everton yet again in the cup. Sadler with the goal. Played a pretty strong team here. And yeah, so that's that. I'll just show you the goals. Sadler leading the way at the moment with 12, which is never good because you want your strikers to lead the way. But you know, he has been absolutely amazing lately. Castillo with 10, Suarez with 9, Silvani getting into games with 7. Fredinho, who has been injured, should buy out. I'll just show you really quick. Let's see, where are we? As you can see, he fractured his ribs, was out for a month. So just point out, he was out for a month. That's what 4 weeks obviously equals a month, for those who didn't know. Trust me, there are people who don't know. And then, so the very next month, on the 17th of November, he strained his knee ligaments and is out for 6 weeks. So it's the second he comes back, like the first game he's back, and he injured himself again. God, I was so annoyed. So that's why he hasn't got that many goals. But I have a lot of exciting things to show you now through a few young players of mine. So I talked about this guy here, Jackson. This is Joe Jackson here. His value is 3.3 million, and he's a 16-year-old. His stats aren't great, but you know, well, they're not great. I mean, they're pretty decent. He's 6'1". He's got good heading ability. He's decent very good free kick taking ability. Actually, it's his best trait. Off the ball, he's decent. Determination's very good. He's not the quickest, so I think we're looking at an Andy Carroll type player here. But reports suggest 3.5 stars that he could be a leading Premier Division striker in the future. So I'm very, very excited by this kid. As you can see, his weakness is speed, but he is really good in the area. He's a target man. I've talked about before how target men don't really fit into my team, but that is usually when I have to bring a player in, and I've got to adapt quickly to this player. You know, like I brought in Lukaku, for example. I had to bring him in. I had to change things with the team, whereas I can build around Jackson and say, okay, he's going to play as a target man, but I need to find someone else to go with him, and obviously that was what I will do when more youth players come in. This is another one here. This is Jim Murphy, another strange, baldy-headed, hobbit-eared player, and he looks really good again. Penalty taken's quite good. He's decent flair, and you know, 2.5 stars, not bad. You know, considering this is as an attacking left midfield. Obviously, he's no Trevor Sadler, but if we look at left midfield, you know, he's a good little squad player to have. I think he'd do quite well here. You know, I think we're looking at a sort of Raheem Sterling type player. So, because on this he wasn't that great. Yeah, I mean, he was good. I mean, he played like 50 appearances for Liverpool, but on this, but but for me personally, he just wasn't there. He was nearly there. He just wasn't there. So yeah, they're the exciting players that I have. Now, I just want to show you why I was able to produce these players. Now, this was through the fact that my facilities, of course, are all now pretty much top as they are. I've been working on this for like the last 5 or 6 years, trying to get them as best they are. Established recruitment, excellent coaching, state-of-the-art facilities. Everyone's tip-top now. So hopefully should be producing the best youth we can. It doesn't necessarily mean you are, but obviously you'd rather go with the best as opposed to average. I think that's pretty much that's a given. So yeah, looking at other transfers, who's I was looking at the Premier League, sorry. I think I paid the most share. I did. When you saw the player called Fernando, who's at Wigan, may have seen him in and around the goal scoring table sometimes for 20 million. So that's another one at the Premier League, thankfully. And yeah, so there are some of the transfers. But I just want to go over some of the managers and stuff here. Now, a lot of people saying, have we got any good players now currently in real life that are managers? Here's one for you. Actually, I don't think he's real. Actually, I'm not sure if he's... No, he is real, obviously. Sorry, he's a current manager. This guy called Massimo Ficadenti or Ficadenti. I don't know how you say that. But he's a very good manager, actually. He's 62 now. Obviously, this is like 20 years in the future. As you can see... I'm going to assume he is at one of these clubs here in Italy. And the main reason Tottenham got him, obviously as a title-winning team, was because he was at Sevilla, where he did very, very well. Did very, very well indeed. They've won several Europa Leagues, as you can see there. really going up and down. Really stretching the big two there in Spain. So yeah, they're really good. Sevilla, he took them really, really high, and he's doing really well at the moment with Tottenham. So yeah, Ficciardenti, good little player for manager, I should say. Arsenal is at the moment is Gonzalo Higuain, believe it or not. He's a new manager, which is really funny. He's obviously a relatively new manager. His first non-playing role was a youth coach at Wigan, as you can see, and then he was the manager of Wigan after, I think, Michael Laudrup retired. Let me just see this. Let me just see really quick. Past managers. Yeah, as you can see, McCarthy, who went out with a bang, obviously won the Premier League. Mick McCarthy. And this guy, Maurizio Pochettino, who is excellent, unfortunately got offered the job at Real Madrid, as you can see, and he's been there ever since 2026. Then they brought in Michael Laudrup, and this is where things are going to start to get complicated now. He was the Arsenal manager, but before that, he was Man United. He was the 9-year at Man United for 9 years. He won the FA Cup in 2018, the Europa League in 2021, and the Champions League in 2022. So yeah, he did really well as a manager, Michael Laudrup, and a potential future manager for Man United. But at the moment, and then he went to Arsenal, which is really weird. Imagine that happened. The Man United manager went to Arsenal. Don't think I've ever seen that before. I don't know if it's ever happened, but yeah. Fair play to him. As you can say, they dropped stints there. I think that was after McCarthy went. But Higuain is currently the manager of Arsenal, Man United. And so who placed Laudrup? Oops, sorry, hang on. That should be. It is actually a guy called Devis Mangia, who I personally have never heard of. He was first met was with this team over there until 2004. I'm trying to think where he might be currently. I assume maybe in one of these. He was at Palermo. He won the Europa League with Palermo and also won the Super Cup with Palermo. So he's probably a decent enough manager, and he's been the Manchester United manager now since May 2028. So for nearly 2 years. In fact, so he's doing okay. But Man United have never really been as good as they ever were in the first season. Of course, when they trounced us, didn't trounce actually. They just about beat us to the league. Chelsea manager. Who is this? I keep clicking on the wrong one. For God's sake, it is Jurgen Klopp, who is a very good manager actually. First venture manager was with Mainz, and he was Dortmund, and I think he is at Dortmund currently. Yeah, I think he is the current Dortmund manager. Won the first division and also won the Europa League. So he also was at Benfica, and he won the League Cup last year with Chelsea. So he's had a decent start. Good manager, Klopp, and he took them slightly higher. They've yet to win the Champions League yet still, which I don't know if they may have won it actually by the time this video comes out in real life. But there you go. Man City. Current manager is Marcelino. Now we'll get back to him in a minute. We're just going to go back to past managers currently. So we had Mancini, then we had who was there till 2019. Then we had Mihajlovic, who got sacked. Mancini then came back into his role for another 4 years. Then we had Pochettino, where he started to make his name, really make his name. Then we had this guy called Massimo Allegri, who is now the manager of Barcelona. Then we had Ronald Koeman there for 3 years. He was good. He retired. He won. What did he win? He won the Champions League and the Super Cup and the Club World Championship. So he also won stuff at Chelsea. So fair play to him. And then they have Marcelino. So who is Marcelino? He is the current manager, I believe, in real life of Seville. He was at Recreativo de something. And I believe, yes, as you can see here, he is at Sevilla currently, where he won the Europa League. Then he went to Tottenham, where he won the Community Shield off us, of course, and then won the Premier League. So basically what happened was we saw Marcelino, the current title-winning manager, leave title-winning Spurs to go to Manchester United. Manchester City, I beg your pardon. Look how badly they're doing. That was a mistake. I don't think that anyone would ever do that. Maybe it was the money. Maybe the whole money that features in it. I don't know. But yeah, that's just a little quick look there at some managers who are doing really well. I don't know if I can see all managers currently. Like, I don't know how I can see that, but yeah, I'll just click on a few other players. Everton manager currently is a Japanese guy who I've never heard of. Excuse me. Wigan manager is Gareth Southgate. He just got sacked from somewhere, actually. Southgate, let's have a look. Where did he? Yeah, I remember him just getting sacked. He was at Scunthorpe, that's right. Oh, sorry, not Scunthorpe. He was at Blackburn and he got sacked. So Gareth Southgate is the current Wigan manager. Southampton, who I don't know who guarded them up. Lee Clark, the Newcastle player, I think. Huddersfield, Paul Jewell. Newcastle is John van der Brom, who is an older manager, not a player yet. He was at Vitesse. Yeah, he's currently at Vitesse, and then he also went to Wolves, Blackburn, Leicester, and West Brom, and Everton, where he got sacked very early on. The Birmingham manager is some Australian guy who I've never heard of, Josowski or something. Blackburn is Matt Fry. I don't think that's the... Let's see, who does he play for currently? West Ham or something, or well, yeah, loads of different players. But yeah, he's there. Blackburn manager, Wolves manager, not Terry Connor. It is Anders Conradson, who was at Everton. Look at that, up and down, up and down. Look at that zigzag. Bolton is Paul Lambert, still going. Paul Lambert deserves better. His attributes will be better. And finally, Steve Cocker is the Aston Villa manager. Yeah, I don't know any of these players. So yeah, he won the League Cup with Tottenham, to be fair. So yeah, there you go. So they are the managers currently. There's no. If I also show you managers, let's just go manager. Who is well? So let's go reputation. I'm the only world-class manager at the moment. Luis Enrique and Frank de Boer, obviously very good. Andre Villas-Boas has actually gone back to Porto, which is really funny. As you can see, he got sacked pretty much close to a bit earlier than he did in real life. He went to Academica, Porto and Chelsea, and then obviously went back to Porto again a few years ago, which is really funny. Ibrahim Afellay is a very good manager. He's at Besiktas. Mihajlovic is at Inter. Garrido is at Malaga. Simeone is Juventus. Thierry Henry is a decent manager, actually. Where's he now? He's the under-21s. He's been at all sorts of clubs. Theodore Whitmore's the manager at Rotherham. John Carew is the manager of Swansea. He's been around. And Fernando Torres is the manager of Atletico Madrid. I could actually see that happening. Where's he been? 2 years playing for Malaga, but yeah, he went to Sporting. Now he's been into Atletico. That's quite funny, actually. What else we got? I can get this about it. I think people just wanted to see this. Just see a few names. Chris Smalling's the manager of Leicester. Laurie Della Valle, the Fulham player, former Liverpool player, is the manager of QPR. And I think there's one more. Let's see. I want to recommend. Let's see if we can find anyone. Paolo Di Canio is still at Swindon. Bloody hell, he's still at Swindon. Huh. God, he's still there. God, I don't know how long that is now. He's not like nearly, 19 years. Jesus, less than me. Anyway, so that's just a little overview, in case you guys wanted to see it. The Championship, I've told you, it's not active. None of these leagues are active. Yeah, so there you go. I will, as I say, put a download at the end of this save. This has been an especially long episode. I'm now going to have a drink because my throat is killing me. So, yeah, thanks for watching, lads. I will be back for the next review. So, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.